Standards like ISO 19650 define the collaborative processes for managing information over the project lifecycle. Without a standardization document control process, teams waste countless hours looking for the most up-to-date information. Ensuring consistent document control is key to meeting project requirements and avoiding rework. With workflows that support the ISO 19650 standard in the Autodesk Construction Cloud platform, teams can efficiently configure, organize, and distribute documents across the project lifecycle. Let's see how teams are ensuring consistency and creating a single source of truth with customizable and automated workflows. Create, manage, and enforce a naming standard across project files to ensure standardization. Project admins can easily create the naming standard for the project using the ISO 19650 template. Admins need to customize the standard attribute fields that will be required at upload and add additional attributes if desired. After configuring the naming standard, admins can then apply the naming standard to selected empty folders and subfolders. Naming standards can be updated before files are uploaded to the folder the naming standard is applied to. Admins can easily reorder the naming fields and related attributes, remove them, add new ones, or configure constraints. Files uploaded to a naming standard enforced folder will need to conform with the naming standard before being uploaded. The validator will check if the inputted text is corresponding to the naming standard defined by the project admin. Users can easily update the necessary fields with drop-down menu selections. Team members can also choose to add or remove files while on the validator screen. To save time, users can select multiple files to rename. On the Bulk Edit window, users can edit the corresponding fields for all selected files. If the project admins enable the holding area, files with conforming names will be uploaded. The non-conforming files will be sent to the holding area. Users can navigate to the holding area to continue the renaming of documents, validate, and upload process. Increase document control by applying naming standards to project folders. Admins can enforce the naming standard on a single folder or folder and all subfolders. Similarly, admins can also stop enforcing the naming standard on a folder. Once enforced, the attributes defined in the naming standard are automatically attached to the folder. When creating a subfolder, it will automatically inherit its parent folder's naming standard enforcement. Deleting a naming standard enforced folder will remove the naming standard enforcement on that folder and all of its subfolders. A restored folder will be restored without any naming standard enforcement. Team members have the ability to move, copy, and restore deleted documents to a naming standard enforced folder. Users will need to go through the validator and correct the naming of any non-conforming documents before moving, copying, or restoring documents. Renaming a document in a naming standard enforced folder will also trigger the validator. Admins can also export a document log that includes related attributes to audit the uniqueness of file names in the system. Naming standard attributes ensure document metadata is up-to-date, searchable, and filterable. For quick editing needs, users can inline edit attribute values. The validator will validate that the new value is accepted and conforms to the naming standard. When editing classification codes, users can search and select the correct one. For larger edits, users can select multiple files to bulk edit. From there, users can update the related attribute values. Users can search or filter documents by attribute values to find what they need quickly. By selecting Attribute Settings, users can search for an attribute and edit the attribute information such as name and description. Updates will be reflected in the document list as well. Ensure teams are working off the latest information with approval workflows. Users can quickly create an approval review by selecting the relevant documents and clicking Submit for Review. If a document name doesn't conform to the naming standard of the approved document's destination folder, an error will appear, instructing the user to rename the document before including it in the review. To ensure the right information is in the right hands, before submitting for review, users can ensure approved documents are copied over to the selected folder for a controlled distribution process. Meet project requirements, increase standardization, and save time with centralized document management on the Autodesk Construction Cloud platform.